What if a missile could travel hundreds, or even thousands of kilometers, without being seen until it's too late? Not fast like a ballistic missile, not loud like a jet, but silent, low, and almost invisible to radar. This is why the world is paying attention to Iran's Soumar cruise missile. Unlike ballistic missiles that shoot high into space before falling back down, the Soumar operates in a completely different way. It flies low, very low, sometimes just a few dozen meters above the ground, following the natural curves of the terrain. This technique is known as terrain-hugging flight, and it's one of the key reasons cruise missiles are so difficult to detect. Radar systems are designed to scan the sky, but when a missile stays close to mountains, valleys, or even sea level, it can slip through blind spots. That's where the word invisible comes from. The Soumar was officially revealed by Iran in 2015, but its origins go back much further. Most analysts agree that it is heavily based on the Soviet-designed Kh-55 cruise missile, which Iran reportedly obtained in the early 2000s. Instead of building from zero, Iran reverse-engineered an existing advanced system and adapted it for its own needs. The result? A long-range, ground-launched cruise missile capable of striking deep inside enemy territory. So how powerful is it? Estimates vary, but the Soumar is believed to have a range of between 2,000 and 3,000 kilometers. That means it can potentially reach targets far beyond Iran's borders across the Middle East, and even into parts of Europe or Asia. Other reports suggest shorter operational ranges around 700 kilometers, depending on configuration and payload. But even at the lower estimate, that's still enough to threaten key military bases and infrastructure across the region. Speed isn't what makes the Soumar dangerous. In fact, it's relatively slow flying at subsonic speeds, around Mach 0.7. But that's exactly the point, because instead of speed, it relies on stealth and precision. The Soumar uses a combination of guidance systems, including inertial navigation, GPS, and terrain mapping, allowing it to follow a pre-programmed route with high accuracy. Some estimates suggest it can strike within tens of meters of its target. That's precise enough to hit specific buildings, runways, or critical infrastructure. And then there's the warhead. The Soumar is believed to carry a high explosive payload of around 400 kilograms, capable of destroying hardened targets. Some analysts also warned that the design could potentially be adapted for non-conventional payloads, although this remains a subject of debate. But here's what truly makes the Soumar concerning. It's not just a missile, it's a system. Cruise missiles like the Soumar can be launched from mobile ground platforms, hidden in trucks, or remote launch sites. That means they don't need large, obvious bases. They can be deployed, fired, and relocated quickly, making them extremely difficult to track or destroy before launch. And unlike ballistic missiles, cruise missiles are much harder to intercept. Why? Because they don't follow predictable arcs. They twist, turn, and adjust mid-flight. They can approach targets from unexpected directions. And by the time radar detects them, there may only be seconds left to respond. This isn't just theory. In modern conflicts, low-flying cruise missiles have already demonstrated their ability to bypass advanced air defense systems when those systems are not properly positioned or prepared. And that's what keeps military planners up at night. But it's important to stay grounded in reality. Despite its reputation, the Soumar is still surrounded by uncertainty. Some experts question whether Iran can fully replicate the advanced engines and stealth features of the original Kh-55. Others point out that many of its specifications are based on estimates, not confirmed battlefield data. So is it truly invisible? Not exactly. No missile is completely invisible. But in the right conditions, low altitude, complex terrain, and limited radar coverage, the Soumar can become extremely difficult to detect and intercept. And in warfare, difficult to detect is often more than enough. In the end, the fear surrounding the Soumar isn't just about what it is, it's about what it represents. A shift from brute force to precision and unpredictability. From speed to stealth. From visible threats to silent ones. Because in modern warfare, the most dangerous weapons aren't always the fastest. They're the ones you never see coming.